Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. Tonight I want to do another unique build for the Elder Scrolls Online build. I would love to see at least one of these run around in every group in PvP, because it would be so useful to have, not just for survivability, but if you survive more then you're taking more keeps. So yeah, mainly survivability and being epic. So if you're running as two groups, then you get two of these builds. It's pretty good. Right, so first things first is I actually have a few mistakes on this build that need to be rectified. I'm going to change it every now and then, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do so you can adjust accordingly. First of all, I am a node, but ideally an Imperial would be better. So a node is a bit more tanky, a bit more resistances. When you take damage, you gain 5 ultimates every 10 seconds. That's pretty good, but an Imperial has a across the board reduction of skills cost by 6%, I believe. It may be 8, I'm not entirely sure. So an Imperial or a node is absolutely fantastic for this, but adjust to your own accord. I would suggest if you're going to do this, do an Imperial, but each their own. This build was something else, and I just kind of adjusted it. That's why it's a node. Yeah, let's get into the sets. So there's a couple options when it comes to sets. I had to put this one on because the game, in all its glory, likes to delete my stuff. And I did have 200 slots on this character. It's one of the first characters I had when the Necromancer first came out. But over the last week, it's been reduced to 175 for God knows what reason. And I had every single item in my inventory deleted. So I've had to basically just pick up what I could scavenge around from my chests, from my guild banks, and my own storage bank. So please bear with me. I apologise. I will go through what you will need to make this build. So this Mercy set is pretty good, but it does scale off max stamina and max magicka. Ideally, you would want the Crest of Cyrodiil. I don't believe I have any to show you, which I'm truly sorry for. Like I said, the game just loves to delete stuff. But I've got their Battalion Defender. That's a pretty good set to have as an alternative to the Mercy set. Crest of Cyrodiil, I've got a couple pieces here. So when you block, you heal for 7,688. This can occur every 4 seconds. It scales off your max health. So I'm not on a very good high health pool at the moment. If I turn into my Goliath, I will have more health, and that number will shoot up to. I can't give you a specific amount, but it does shoot up. Varies on your health. And when it's obviously better, you'll get more health. So the main one that you want for this particular build is Akavori Dragon Guard set, which you can get from Eastmarch, which is here. If you're going to farm, I would recommend you do the open world dungeons, which is in the main city. It's about there. You just farm the bosses and they'll drop the sets. So what that does is reduces cost of your ultimate by 15%. Now that is pretty good, but if you want super fast ultimates, so you want Akavori Dragon Guard, there's another set you can run with it called Shulk, but I've got like one piece of this because, like I said, all my stuff's been deleted. So with this set, you gain a bunch of stuff: health, weapon spell damage, critical weapon spell damage. You gain minor heroism at all times while you're in combat, generating 1 ultimate every 1.5 seconds. So if you run Shulk with Dragon Guard, while you're a Imperial, you are going to get very fast ultimates, and that's the name of the game on this. on this particular build, get fast ultimates, and to top that off as well, you want to use Bloodspawn. When you take damage, you have a 6% chance to generate 13 ultimate. That is exactly what you need for this. So the idea for this build is to get the Resurrection ultimate as fast as you can. It's 285, but if we take Dragon Guard off and have a look at our ultimate, it is 315, so it does take off quite a lot. Excuse me. So running Shulk, Dragon Guard and Bloodspawn is ideal for what you want. And you want to also set your build up as a tank. So let's see. I don't particularly have like all the traits and everything set at the moment, because I did have it set up perfectly and I was going to make the video, then it got deleted. All my stuff got deleted, sorry. So you want excuse me, I'm having a brain fart here. You want the trait which gives you ultimate, which is why are you doing it? Apparently I don't have to create anything. Ah, there it is, that's why. Decisive. You want decisive on your weapons. Now, with the weapons, you can go one or two ways. You can have sword and shield like I have, or you can have a resto staff to give the team extra heals, or you can have that on the back bar if you like. But either way, it will work very well for you. Move on to the skills. I hope I'm explaining myself clear enough. Right, for the skills, you want the Hunger Scythe. So when you slice at an enemy with this, it heals you, which is good. Necrotic Potency. So when somebody's died on floor, you use your Necrotic Potency and it sucks the health out of them, healing you. Resilient Flesh. That's your heal, and it does heal other people as well. So that's a really good one to have. I'm not going to go over everything that these skills do, but trust me, it's worth having. Spirit Guardian. So that's the first thing you want to pop when you get into combat, because the Spirit Guardian will take some of the damage dealt to you, keeping you alive for a bit more. Now we have Revealing Flares. Now we don't want to use this ability, we just want to have it slotted, as while it's slotted you gain major protection, reducing your damage taken by 10%, which is very good. And for the ultimate, obviously, you want the Reanimate skill. You can have this on the front or back bar, doesn't really matter. I have it on both. On the back bar, I have Dizzying Swing, but that's because I got a two-handed. Ideally, I either want to have another Sword and Shield or a Restoration Staff. Then I have an AoE heal. That's just to give me like more AP, help the group out a bit more. Then I have Unveiling Boneyard, dealing damage, gain breach, reducing their physical and spell resistance while stand on it, and it gives me a corpse to consume as well. Then I've got Resilient Flesh again, but you don't need it twice, but I do like having a heal on both bars because the bar swap on ESO is absolutely broke. Then I have the Summoner's Armour. So ideally you want to put your armour on, get your Guardian out, block, then you're taking all this damage, and then you heal people and get your resurrections when you can. Currently my food has run out. Now food is somewhat optional on this. I like Bewitched Sugar Skulls because I'm not a vampire. I think I'm a vampire now. No, I'm not. So I've got fairly decent health recovery, okay stam recovery. But because there's stam, I can just chuck it some heavy attacks when heavy attacks actually want to work. Yeah, for me particularly, the It's like, if it gets stunned or something, break out, then try doing a heavy attack. It never works. This game is so broke at the moment. But I'm just trying to help you out with new build ideas, as builds have become quite stale over the last couple of years. Moving on to the boon, we want the Lade because it gives you more physical resistance. The traits you want on your armor, by the way, is you want the decisive for your weapons. You want sturdy on some. So mix and match sturdy with the reinforced because you want to be more tanky. So I'd have 2 reinforced, like legs and chest. The rest have sturdy, so you can just block to your heart's content. Ideally you want to be all heavy. I've got the light shoulders and medium helm, but ideally you want to be all heavy. Now, traits when it comes to jewelry, it won't work in there where I try to just switching from necklace to ring. So ideally, if you were gonna make this, you would want the protective trait on your jewelry because it gives you more resistances. Or you can have infused with the block trait. Or if you have infused again but have the tri-stat glyph on, so you'll like you'll get more recovery on everything. But that's up to you. Mix and match, try it out. Getting bugged out here, piece of crap. Yeah. Go into champion points now. So I've got Soothing Shield. When you successfully block an attack, you have a 15% chance to restore health per stage. Bracing Anchor. While in combat, increase the amount of damage you can block by 4% per stage, but reducing the cost of movement speed, which is fine because you don't block and run around really, so it's fine. Reduce your damage taken by 2% per stage while blocking and under the effect of a damage shield, which is fine. Then Boundless Vitality. See, Boundless Vitality is a flex option. You can have fortified if you like. I would not recommend having... No, it doesn't matter. This one, the blue skill tree. What have I got? You want Relentless to get 660 critical resistance. Reinforced. When you begin bracing, you gain a damage shield that absorbs over 5,000 damage for 3 seconds. This can occur every 10 seconds. Then you want Billwalk. While you have a shield or Frost Stab equipped, your spell and physical resistance is increased by nearly 2,000. And Unassailable. Reduce your damage taken by area of effects by 3% per stage. So if you're not using actually, I'm going to say if you're not using a Frost Staff, but it counts with your shield as well. So this one is kind of, you can do whatever with. I personally just increase movement speed on my tanks, reduce the amount it costs to have my armour repaired, and mount speed. Nothing spectacular. Rationer as well. Obviously you want to get all your passives that you can get. There is another option actually for armour. Just gotta find a piece. That's what it was called. I think it's called Champion of the Hiss. Champion of the Hiss. So you gain minor heroism at all times. While you're in combat, you gain 1 ultimate every 1.5 seconds. but that does not stack with the other set that basically does the same thing, so you want to kind of mix and match to the ones that you want. So that won't stack with Shulk, I think it is. So you've got like two options there. Yeah, I think that's it. I hope I've give you guys some new ideas for the build. If you're going to use pots, by the way, use the Mag Alliance one or the Stamp one, depending on which one you're struggling to keep. See what you're studying at. Your resistances should go up a lot, but 33k, which is pretty good. Yep, and then you suck the life out of your little thing when it dies, and it heals you. And if you one, and if there's a Nightblade about. So yeah, try it out. I wouldn't gold everything out right away, but it's just an idea build for you. If you're getting a bit stale with what you're using, this will really help groups, and they are so grateful for it in PvP. Like, because so many people in PvP just want to get into a fight and kill people. It shows actual character when you have some resolve and you can stay back, assess the situation. You see a group of people get bombed and you think, well, I can change this battle. I can res all these people. Well, you res 4 at a time, but it does really help. And I do need to emphasize this when the ultimate actually works, because since the Necromancer has come out, which has been years now, or it says up to 3 allies, it used to be 4. When the Necromancer came out years ago, the ultimate was broken, and it still kind of is. It kind of works when it wants to work. So if you use an ultimate and it doesn't res anybody, it is not your fault. The game is broke. File a complaint, tell them what it is, record footage, send it off, and you should hear back from them. But more than likely, they're going to blame it on your internet connection and take zero responsibility and accountability for the products they put out, because they are actually more interested in putting out this kind of crap. So, yeah. Just be aware of that. I'll give you all the information I can. If you have any thoughts on this build, leave it in the comment section, and I will hopefully come at you with new build ideas in the future. And I'll catch you next time. Peace out.